This episode of Mohr Stories with the great and powerful and mighty AJ Hawk, Green Bay Packer linebacker, number 50. Number one in your hearts, brought to you by GoToMeeting. Meetings are essential to the way we work. They're an opportunity to share ideas, problem solve. But if your team is spread out, different states, different towns, different parts of the building, coming together can be a real impossible task unless you use GoToMeeting with HD Faces by Citrix, the powerfully simple way to meet online. It's so easy. Sign up for GoToMeeting from your computer or your mobile device. Launch your first meeting in seconds. Then no matter where you are, you're going to be able to instantly connect to your team. Share your screen to collaborate on projects in real time. You want to show your boss something cool you were working on? Don't explain it to him over the phone. GoToMeeting, HD Faces by Citrix. You can show him in real time like a boss. It's just like meeting in person, even when you guys are miles apart. Start your free 30-day trial of GoToMeeting today. Visit GoToMeeting.com. GoToMeeting.com. Click the Try It Free button. You like that? It's free. And use the promo code J, my name, J-A-Y. GoToMeeting.com. Click the Try It Free button and use the promo code J. That's GoToMeeting.com. Promo code J. Meeting is believing.
Put your name on it. Just put your name on it. That's all I say. Be a man or a woman. Put your name on it.
Well, I'd like to hear about it, potheads.
How the fuck you gonna know how to be great if you don't study greatness? Look at the game tape.
Donuts.
If you want a battle, it's either that you will or you won't.
You know, you're not a bad-looking man, Mr. Gals.
But you are, Blanche. You are in that chair.
There's something wrong with us. Something very, very wrong with us.
Hey, man!
Yes, more stories. I think it's 2:15. AJ Hawk, Green Bay Packers linebacker, in the house. But maybe to a lot of you, more importantly, Ohio State alum. The man, AJ, first of all, I realized if every Ohio State alum and Packer fan listened to this podcast with you on it, this will be the most listened to episode ever in the history of the internet.
You're right. If you look at the Ohio, 50,000 undergraduate at Ohio State. At least when I was there, it might be more. So everywhere I go, I seem to run into some alumni. And I'm actually a graduate of Ohio State.
What was your major?
Criminology.
Did you really have to go to class? Or
I had to go to class every day because my good buddy, Andy Katzenmoyer, if you remember him.
Yeah, he was a bust.
Monster in the middle. He broke his neck.
Hold on. Yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Jesus.
He had his neck fused.
Jesus.
Not everybody knows
Andy
that.
Katzenmoyer, I'm so sorry. I didn't know you broke your neck. I thought he was a washout like your boy Vernon Golston.
He broke his neck after his second year, had it fused, tried to come back and just couldn't do it.
Poor Andy. I'm sorry.
No,
Andy.
he's good.
I
But
feel terrible.
I tell people, Andy, if people remember, like the Sports Illustrated cover of him before his senior year, it said like Ohio State's #1 with an asterisk if Andy makes the grades, and he had to go take a bunch of summer classes to try to become eligible, and he ended up becoming eligible. But I tell people he's the reason they check every one of our classes now at Ohio State.
Why?
They did.
He's like a slacker? He didn't want to go to class?
I guess he was trying to take a few classes off here and there.
Isn't that what USC is for?
I don't know, man. I don't know about these West Coast schools, but yeah. So after Andy, no joke, every class I walk into, the very back would be, we had like 4 guys that Coach Tressel had assigned to check everybody's class. And he would sit there and make sure he didn't leave early, too.
Now, usually whenever there's a sports person on the podcast, I always do a disclaimer at the front like, hey, if you're a gal or if you're a guy that's not into sports, don't tap out because it's a feel-good story. It's a story about the human triumph. And then I always get tweets saying like, that was great. Why'd you give the disclaimer? So I'm not going to give a disclaimer for you, AJ Hawk, number 50 of the Green Bay Packers.
Thank you.
You people probably know you from like fathead commercials having really long flowing hair, but now you're like high and tight. You look like you're in Saving Private Ryan, and that's part of what, Locks for Love? Or
yeah, we actually did. Yeah, I cut my hair off almost 2 years ago. Started my own little charity deal with it called Hawks Locks for Kids. I'm not didn't come on here to plug anything.
I want you to plug it because I think it's cool because you had that long flowing blonde hair, man. You were like an Amazon dude.
For almost 8 years, I had it long. Almost 9 years, 8.5, 9 years. Grew it out. I loved Pat Tillman. A lot of people know his story. Left the NFL, went over, was killed in Afghanistan. Love that guy. So my linebacker buddies and I kind of grew it out for kind of in honor of him senior year, and then just chopped it off about a year and a half ago. And my wife is the one, I can't claim it. She gave me the idea. She said, you got to do something with it. Don't just cut it. So we started our whole thing. People have been awesome, sending hair in from India all over the place to make wigs for kids with cancer.
I've still got mine. I've still got my hair when I had long hair. I'd be happy to donate it.
Send it in. Let me know.
You really have your hair?
I still have it.
It's one of the creepiest things I've ever heard.
I was going to donate to Locks of Love, but I never got around to it, so it's perfect.
Where do you keep freshly shorn, well, not in your case, not so freshly shorn hair?
Freeze it in the meat drawer in my fridge, actually. Keep it fresh.
I thought that's where mob guys keep their cash. Hey. That's where somebody breaks into your house, they go for your cash, they pull out a brown ponytail. That's the creepiest thing in the world.
Gross.
So is it still up and running, your charity?
Yeah, we've had 2 of our main events we have back in Columbus, Ohio, where I live in the off season, and it's been awesome, man. Raised a ton of money we teamed up with a local hospital in Columbus to make wigs for kids with cancer, also burn victims, all kind of issues, but people, man, we put it out there. I was like, oh, this will be cool. People might care, hopefully they care a little bit. And it's just like, bam, instantly stuff came in from all over the place. People would always ask me, I'll run into somebody on the street, literally in Green Bay, and they'll be like, give me a $100 bill. I'm like, here, I didn't know where to send it. So here, this is for you. Take it. I was like, oh no, man. I'm like, write this email address down, send it into them, because I don't want to be responsible, man. If I mess up and put that in my back pocket, you think about that karma, man. If I end up spending that on something stupid. So.
Is there a website for this?
It's called Hawks Locks for Kids.
Hawk, H-A-W-K. Hawks Locks for Kids.org. Mm-hmm. I have kids. You have kids. We're both dads. It's hard to get a kid. It sounds like I'm making a joke, but I'm not. But you try to keep a 3-year-old to wear a hat. They hate it.
No chance. I have a 3-year-old.
Yeah. So I can't imagine how hard, I guess it sounds fun. I'm not trying to make a joke, but it seems like it'd be hard to convince a 3-year-old to rock a wig. What if it's one he doesn't like? What if it's all that's left is the mullet? Bono's mullet from Red Rocks. Come on, Timmy.
You got to show him. You got to show him the DVD and say, "Hey, this is cool now."
Raise the white flag.
I don't know how I can. I try to sell a lot of things to my little 3-year-old daughter.
DVD of Red Rocks.
I try to sell things to my daughter all the time and make her think it's cool. Look at this broccoli's amazing, and I try to eat her something, but I don't think I can sell her that. Maybe like a baby little hockey mullet, like those guys. If they made one of those with a little curl in the back.
What about instead of baby wigs? What about baby playoff hockey beards?
No, we could branch off into many different things.
Yeah, you know what? Show me a photo of a sick kid with a Hawks Locks for Love.org playoff beard. Come Stanley Cup time. That'd be the coolest kid in the hospital.
You're right. Man, I had no idea we were even talking about my whole charity deal. Now we're branching off into avenues I never even thought about.
Welcome to Mohr Stories, AJ Hawk.
I might be looking you up in June to MC my event too, man. I'm always looking for different people.
I'm in right away.
I'm serious.
I'm telling you, look at me. I'm serious.
This is on record. Don't worry, we'll fly you out first class. Whoever you want to come, we'll use our whole budget to bring you in just so you can MC it.
Pay me in wig hair.
Hey, whatever you want.
I'll bring.
Man.
You know what?
Columbus,
I'll
Ohio.
bring Maddie's hair out of his meat drawer in his refrigerator.
There you go.
And I'll auction it off to the Warriors out there that listen to J Mohr Sports. AJ Hawk, we do a thing here. If people go to jmohr.com and click the Amazon banner, they buy whatever they want, and this money, I get like a little piece from Amazon, goes right to my kids' college tuition. You know damn well when you have kids, like your retirement and your savings, it doesn't exist anymore.
No.
It's all for their college, and you're like, oh no, you're going to college. So I have 2 boys, and if you buy something at Amazon, click through jmohr.com. Instead of having Amazon up on your, what these are called up here, toolbar, what do you call that?
Bookmarks.
Bookmarks. God, browser. We go through this every week, and I apologize.
It is a toolbar on the top, which includes your bookmarks.
People correct me all the time. But it's, all podcasts have Amazon links now, but mine actually go to a kid's education, and maybe he could be like AJ Hawk and go to the Ohio State University.
That would be beautiful.
I would dig it.
I ask my daughter all the time. She can speak somewhat as a 3-year-old. And I say, her name is Lennon. I'll say, Lennon, where are you going to college? She said, Ohio State. And I'm like, yes. And so
put me on the phone with her. I'll change that up. I'll tell her to go to Michigan. Michigan State. I'd rather a kid go to Michigan State than Michigan, I think.
Well, I played for Mark D'Antonio, the head coach of Michigan State. He is the man. You talk about a respected, tough dude that you're scared of. That guy.
I want to ask you about different coaches, and especially about Ohio State, because you were with Jim Tressel when everybody was getting tattoos, and the whole program got shut down.
Shortly after me, but yes.
But it's a weird thing to me because I have a very strong opinion pro Ohio State in this case, and I think the listeners will dig it. Go to jmohr.com, click the Amazon banner, buy whatever the hell you want, and I will read what you bought on the air, making you a star to, I don't know, you and your buddies that listen to the show. John Plasinski, Plotzinski, Plasinski. He writes, "Hey, man, this is John from Racine, Wisconsin." Look at that, we got a Wisconsin guy already, right for AJ Hawk. I clicked on your Amazon banner yesterday on your website, bought my 3-year-old daughter, Zoe, a Wear Deluxe pop-up pet pen for $66 before shipping and tax for our soon-to-be 8-week-old Weimaraner puppy. Zoe doesn't know she's getting her new best friend yet. We're bringing her home very soon to surprise her. I thought you might like to hear this since you're a fellow dog lover and love your kids like no other. I think I speak for all of your fans when I say we admire your comedy, your honesty, and most importantly, your family values. Take care, my man. Hey, John in Racine, Wisconsin. That was cool as hell, brother. Thanks a lot. So there you have it. You could buy anything you want. That guy bought a pop-up pet pen. And now, that's alliteration.
Now your kids are going to go to college because of it. Right?
Hopefully, yeah. I don't know.
Did you sit down? Okay, I don't know if you did this or not. So I don't know what are the ages of your sons, but
11 and 2.
Okay. So the 2-year-old maybe. Oh, Mom, when my daughter was born, right before she was born, we sat down with like our financial people, and I think I have the numbers right. I'm probably way off, but they literally said if inflation goes the way it's gone over the last like 16, 17 years to when your daughter is going to college, they were saying it might be like $350, $400 to send her to school. Was that right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, so then we should read another one.
Yeah, so that instantly, yeah, exactly. So just
holy smokes,
do all that.
$66 pet pen. What's the matter with you people? Buy more computers.
So I tell them all the time, just sticking a golf club in her hand every day, saying, "Here you go."
Oh, that's the way to do it.
Girls, they need They said girls scholarships, girls golf scholarships are one of the easiest to get because, there's not a lot of girls from America going to college here for,
and they hit
for golf.
From the ladies' tees.
Yes, and they need it. Think about it.
I'm going to dress my youngest son up as a lady.
Okay.
And teach him to just...
Like the soccer movie. What's the soccer movie where they dressed up with a wig? Ladybugs.
Ladybugs.
Rodney Dangerfield.
Yeah, yeah, there was a kid like that. There's always some wacky kids movie where a boy dresses like a girl to Joanna Man. My son will be Joanna Man. The white Joanna Man, just straight balling, just throwing bows in the paint to girls. Poor guy.
Physical and make him feel good about himself.
Yeah, but what amazing with my kids, with my athletic prowess, they'd have like 2 points a game. Girls would be just skyhooking, chock full of nuts, hanging on the rim with their packages in his face.
So maybe that's not a good idea then.
We'll figure it out as we go.
We'll figure it out, yeah.
I sat down with my business manager, and I had to sell him on the idea because he likes things very fixed. And
You mean the podcast?
My business manager for the Amazon money going direct deposit to the college education. Because a business manager, they like things, they're numbers people. They like things very fixed. This exact amount each month. And the Amazon, like some months it's this amount, some months it's a little less, a little more. But then he was all in and he was sold. So it's good. So you went to Ohio State. You played under Jim Tressel, known as the sweater vest. Guy wore a sweater vest on the sidelines. Now, the Ohio State program, explain to the listeners what happened. And again, I'm not leading you down a rabbit hole. I am completely pro Ohio State football player in this situation.
Oh, you don't have to be. I mean, you don't have to be a homer just because I'm here.
Well, I'm not going to change my opinion just because you're here. I think it's absurd.
Honestly, what exactly happened, I'm still not 100%
Well, there were 6 or 7 murders.
And
Oh, wait.
Every day
Sorry.
there.
Wrong college. Go ahead.
So Coach Tressel, I guess some players were selling bowl rings. Like we get these called gold pants. People from Ohio know about it. When you beat Michigan, you get a pair of these gold pants as a little pendant, and it's a big deal.
Hold on a second. That's the gayest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah. Well, my mom has them, so does that count? I don't wear them. I have 3 pairs. They're like real cherished in Ohio. Believe me.
We want to reward your athleticism. Wear these gold pants out to the club.
An old school story about.
He got gold pants on.
Yeah. An old coach from Michigan had said they put their pants on one leg at a time, and the gold pants, whatever. So,
how big is the medallion?
Like an inch.
Oh, that's all right. So
yeah,
it's not like
small. So
I think it should be more ostentatious and
like huge, like with big Jesus piece guys wear.
A bling, like EPMD. Just go out to the club with your gold pants on.
Maybe now.
Hey, what's up?
Check new generation.
I got gold pants. Tracy Morgan as Ohio State.
That works.
Sorry. So you get gold pants.
And they were selling, I guess, the rings for like Big Ten championship rings. Some guys got caught selling them. And I guess they claim they thought you weren't allowed to sell them. And they were making some money for them. Not great money, but whatever. And then they were getting free tattoos. What were the free tattoos in exchange for what, though?
I thought.
Were they giving away like a ring for tattoos? I guess it's a couple guys were.
I thought they just got free tattoos because they're Ohio State stars.
Okay, never mind. Yeah, you're probably right.
Up to tattoo them.
Yeah, you're probably right. I guess if I'm getting tattoos, I don't want a free one if it's going to be there forever. So that's what I instantly thought of. I'm like, I'm not going to the lowest bidder here for this thing, man. It's going to be there. So,
do you have any tattoos?
I have 0. But what I'm thinking of, you can see I got this thing on my left ring finger. I normally wear my wedding ring, and my finger got bent sideways like 90 degrees this year. And this thing just won't come back, and I can't fit my ring over this big knuckle. So I'm thinking of designing a little tattoo for my ring finger.
Kiss of death.
Kiss it, really?
You'll be divorced in 8 months.
Oh, yeah.
You can't tattoo.
That's what's keeping me away from it.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah, I haven't done it yet. What I'm doing is trying to get the expanding ring. You can fit over your knuckle and then clasp it down over. I don't know. It's stupid, boring.
No, it's not stupid. I think it's a salient point. But
I know what you're saying, a kiss of death, though.
If you get a tattoo of someone's name or that wedding ring tattooed, like then the wheels just fall off. It's
you know what? Hulk Hogan has a little from Linda, his old wife.
Yeah, things have worked out well for him and her.
Yeah, things seem to be going well.
Brother.
Now they are.
I love Linda, brother. So here's my thing with this. Like if you guys get like the golden pants medallion, like you said. But you earned it in a game. It's yours. You own it. The school gave it to you. It's your property. You keep it in your home. So then why can't you sell it?
That's the question that I think any rational human would ask.
Yeah.
It's ours. It's mine. If I want to sell my shoes to somebody, great.
But shoes that you wore in a game, you're not allowed to sell.
Exactly. So where do you draw the line?
Stupidest thing I've ever heard
That's
in my
why
life.
the NCAA is just a joke right now.
It is a joke. But explain to the listeners how severe the punishment was.
Oh, my gosh. So the players, I think they all got differing games on how many suspensions and whatever. And then the thing about it is, though, Coach Tressel, one of the guy that was literally born to coach Ohio State football. Just awesome. I played 4 years for him. I can't even describe how amazing he is. I'm a huge homer towards him because I know the true Jim Tressel. I know him. But he kind of got attached to Terrell Pryor, the quarterback, who was caught up in that whole mess, the tattoos and everything. And he stuck with him, and he stood by his side the whole time because he's that good of a guy. He just kind of attached himself, I should say, to someone that he should have distanced himself from. But he had some. If anyone saw that 30 for 30 on Maurice Claret, I don't know if there's a big story about them together when Coach Tressel's second year. I came in with Maurice Claret, so I saw a lot of things happen while I was there.
Like what?
I mean, I watched that. Did any of you guys watch the 30 for 30? Okay, so it's out, and it reminded me, we were in the same recruiting class, so I watched
Maurice
the whole
Claret, a fantastic Ohio State running back.
Oh, man. We won the national championship my freshman year.
Not so good in the pros. But in college,
his whole story will tell it. He said he was an addict, alcoholic, and all this stuff, and that's kind of what derailed his whole NFL career. But, I mean, I didn't see anything. Honestly, first hit, people always, every day in the league almost, teammates of mine will come up and be like, oh, man, Ohio State, yeah, man, how much money you get paid while you play? And the whole joke, the biggest joke that everyone says, oh, man, you took a pay cut to come to the league. I'm like, all right. No, I didn't. Thank you. But the thing is, I literally never saw any of it. And these are guys around me. My good buddy Troy Smith got suspended for 2 games, I think, when I was there. And it's almost like college was such a blur to me. It went by so fast. I forgot about a lot of that stuff that happened. But I never saw anything like that happen because I feel like those guys, these leeches, these lawyers that come and offer guys money or cars, hey, you can use my car. I feel like they only kind of come after guys they know are a sure thing and aren't going to tell on them. And they never came to me because they probably knew I was too scared, just a shy little kid, scared to death of doing anything wrong. So I wouldn't talk to anybody. I just never said a word my whole college life, basically. So I literally never saw anything. No one believes me. I understand that.
No, if you say it, they'll believe you.
Yeah,
like that's what's great about a podcast, AJ. This is the place where everyone listening has the exact same senses and sensibilities as me and the guest. If you say right now, like straight up, like you're sitting in my house telling me this, then 250,000 people are just going to go, okay, we can just take that off the table. I'm telling you the truth. But Jim Tressel, I think if I read between the lines, head coach of Ohio State at the time when you were there, Jim Tressel, with Terrell Pryor getting benefits, we'll just leave it loosely like that.
Who knows what it was, yeah.
But he lost his job over it.
For sure, yeah. He was forced to resign, so yeah, he got fired.
But did he lose his job? He didn't. Look, let's call a spade a spade. He didn't lose his job because he didn't distance himself from Terrell Pryor. He lost his job because he lied to the investigators about whether or not he knew what Terrell Pryor was doing.
Exactly.
So he must have
originally what happened.
Really loved Terrell Pryor.
He did.
Because I'm sorry to interrupt you real quick, but you've already laid the groundwork as Jim Tressel, Coach Tressel, being like ironclad, so square. He's the guy that just straightened you out. He was born to coach Ohio State football. So then why would he put his entire career on the line? He still hasn't gotten a job again. Who the hell cares about Terrell Pryor if you're going to lose your job and your credibility?
Oh, I agree with you. I honestly don't know. I literally think, because I know how he is. I think his whole mindset is, I'm going to protect my players at all costs. And I think he explains it a little bit in that 30 for 30. And I've had dinner with him since he's been gone and everything.
With Coach Tressel.
Yeah. And he basically said in that 30 for 30 thing in an interview, what he lied about, I guess, he got an email about some possible like drug activity, a drug deal or someone selling drugs, and Terrell's name was mentioned in it, and he didn't, I guess, report that to the NCAA. I think he reached out to a detective or someone he knows, and he wanted to make sure his players weren't caught up in some drug deal gone bad or whatever. I'm sure I'm way off, but it's something to do with that.
Well, so he felt like he was. Who's on? I mean, you're 4-year Ohio State.
Well, yeah, but this is all. I was gone.
All right.
In the league at the time, so I didn't know everything that went on, and I got a terrible memory. I have 2 kids. I've been chasing them around all the time.
How many concussions?
0.
Really?
0 concussion.
Well done, sir.
Knock on your nice table here.
There you go. Knock on the wood.
I've been very lucky, man. I was just born with a titanium head and nose. If you look at his nose, man, my nose has never officially been broken either, even though I had this big old
that sounds
chunk
like a lie,
on the front and all these scars on it too. So
it's like a Peyton Manning-esque.
Yeah, man.
Nose.
And believe me, my helmet comes down, just boom, blasts my nose since I've been like 6 years old. It just kills it.
And never been broken.
No, because it's like a piece of concrete in there. It's ridiculous. So, years and years of my helmet hitting it.
So those criminology classes just toughened you up.
That's right, man. I took that honestly to become a cop, and I still would like to do that one day, but I'm in the process of explaining that to my wife.
I want to circle back around to you wanting to become a cop, but Coach Tressel, I mean, Andy Katzenmoyer, he's all over him to make sure he goes to class, but yet
he wasn't there with Coach Tressel.
Oh,
he was with John Cooper. Coach Tressel came in. So my first year at Ohio State was 2002. That's the year we won the national championship. That was Coach Tressel's second season there. Katzenmoyer was gone like 99 or around there, 2000.
Oh, okay. But Tressel was the guy, because of Katzenmoyer's grades, that made sure all you guys went to class.
Yeah, and more like, not even Coach Tressel. Coach Tressel definitely cared that we went and checked on everything, but it was more the people around the school, I don't know, whoever you want to call them, the AD. Everyone's like, hey, we can't have a mess like that again that gets us national exposure for bad things,
right,
for guys not going to class. So, therefore, they couldn't even help us with simple things like we actually got screwed just because I felt like we were almost discriminated against as athletes. A lot of teachers I went in didn't like me instantly because they assumed I was an arrogant, didn't want to work hard student, and I wasn't going to class either way. I always went to class, no matter what. Like I said, I was scared to death. I'm just a shy little idiot in college. I'd sit in class and do all my work. That's just what I
NFL middle linebacker. I'm a shy little idiot. This guy could crush all of us in this room with his eyelashes.
I'm saying I was. I still am to some extent, but so yeah, man. I mean, so teachers literally, like from day one, they would just some teachers would just have it out for you. They just wouldn't want to. They wouldn't want to deal with you because they would assume that you're like maybe 1 or 2 players they've had in the past that didn't want to work for it and they wanted to slide by.
That seems like a double-edged sword for the teacher, because that would drive some athletes further from wanting to do good in that class because they're being picked on, whereas guys like you, it worked because you wanted to prove the teacher wrong. But if I'm like Maurice Claret, as you said, or I don't know, we said Terrell Pryor's name 50 times already, but if you go to class and like you're holding on by the skin of your teeth academically and the teacher's really riding the rails on you, like really giving you a hard time, you're going to be like, you know what? I don't need this. This is stupid.
Exactly.
I'll get somebody to take a test for me.
100%. That's why a lot of guys don't graduate right now, because how the schedule works out, you get done with school, like say December 20th, you go play a bowl game. So you have the whole winter break. You play a bowl game January 1st, let's say. and say you're a senior, those guys leave right away. They drop out of school and they go work out like in Florida, California, these so-called gurus that get you ready for the combine, and they're like 15 hours short of a degree. Luckily,
the NFL draft combine for the non-sports.
Yeah, my bad. I'm sorry.
No, don't worry about it.
But so guys do that, and I know all my buddies are like, oh, you graduate, and they're all, most of them are like, I got 4 classes to go. I was like, and the farther you get away from it, the harder it is to go back. Exactly. And the only way they're gonna try to get a school they're gonna try to donate enough money to a school to give them a degree, so you can say you have one.
Honorary doctorate.
They don't do that anymore. That's the thing. So I was lucky enough to where I stayed in school and I was like, well, why do I need to go somewhere and work out? I got the greatest facilities at Ohio State, had a really good strength coaches, and stayed, luckily, found a way to graduate.
It seems Red Auerbach had a great quote, don't ever make rules because one day you'll have to enforce them. And it seems like with Jim Tressel, he became like a victim of that. Like, you do have to have double standards. Like when John Wooden was coaching UCLA and Lou Alcindor's late, you know what? The guy's 7'2". He's like the most miraculous athlete anyone has ever seen, let alone in Westwood. You kind of got to let the guy be late. You got to let him have an afro. You got to let Bill Walton have facial hair. You can't have like these clear-cut rules sometimes because there's guys, especially in football, they just beat to their own drummer, walk to the beat of their own drummer. They're out there.
For sure. You need those guys. Look at Jimmy Johnson says that. They were interviewing him for something, and he was talking about how one of his players fell asleep in a meeting, some guy. I guess he was a guy that didn't really play a whole lot, and Jimmy just walked back and cut him in the middle of the room. He might have fell asleep or was late, and they said, what if Troy Aikman fell asleep? Jimmy's like, I'd go wake him up and say, hey, here you go, Troy. Come on, you need some water? And he said, of course, there's no way I'm cutting Troy Aikman. Yeah, there's double standard. He's Troy.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, that's true.
Jim Tressel, is there like a stain on him? Why hasn't he taken another head coaching job?
I think he had some restrictions. He couldn't take a college job.
Dan Byer knows the exact
5
amount.
years, right?
5 years.
5 years. He couldn't take a college job, so he actually works for Akron now. Him and his wife live
Acura,
there.
Like the car?
Akron.
Oh, Akron. Sorry.
The Zips. He's not a coach though. He's in front office doing some student affairs type thing, and he acts like he loves it, but that's just because he's awesome guy. But I know he wants to be on the sidelines again. But he was with the Colts for a little bit. They brought him in to be like a game day type up in the box coach. I think he'd be an amazing NFL coach. I think he should go in, try to be a quarterback coach. If Coach Tressel, he's one of the few college guys that could go to the NFL.
Why didn't he coach the Browns? They haven't hired a coach yet.
I literally, a couple weeks ago, I did an interview. I said, throw his name in the hat. It'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Why not?
Jim Tressel coaches the Browns. They draft Johnny Manziel, and then they get like, Marquise Lee late, whatever wide receiver falls late. They work on the offense. Browns will be up and running. Where did you grow up? Who was your favorite team growing up?
I grew up a little town called Centerville, Ohio, suburb of Dayton, just north of Cincinnati. So I was a Bengals fan. Ickey Woods, Boomer Esiason.
Ickey, Boomer's my man too.
Love Boomer.
So growing up in Ohio, going to Ohio State, that's like the end all be all. Like that's the dream come true, right?
100%. I did
more than playing for the Bengals or playing for the Browns.
Yeah. I mean, anyone that lives in Ohio knows Ohio State's kind of the thing. And I grew up not even like a diehard Ohio State fan. I loved them, but I looked at it like I look at like anything that, like meeting Brad Pitt, or in your case Tom Cruise, but you worked with him, where like that'd be awesome. Yeah, it's not a reality. It's never going to happen. And that's how I looked at Ohio State. Every player there, in my mind, I was thinking, man, like those guys literally were. I think I've said on your J Mohr Sports with you. I think I've said like those guys were it was like Tom Cruise sitting on the sidelines there. This guy's Mike Doss, Matt Wilhelm, all these players there were celebrities to me, and I thought it was never an option. So I was lucky. I squeaked out a scholarship offer and then got there, and luckily was on some good teams.
So when you're in high school and you're getting these recruiting letters from other colleges, when that Ohio State letter comes in the mail, you see that letterhead on the envelope. Is it just like, oh, it's on, like Ray Poupon, game over?
Yes, it wasn't even a question for me.
What were other schools like? Real quick? Did that letter come later than others?
Yeah, it was very late.
So what were some schools that sent you letters first?
Well, I mean, I wasn't like really highly recruited in high school, and I ended up getting hurt my senior year. Luckily, I'd already committed to Ohio State like a month before, but. I would say I was recruited, but more like MAC schools. I was going to go to Miami of Ohio. My brother was 2 years older than me, played quarterback. He went there.
Ben Roethlisberger.
He came in with Ben Roethlisberger. My brother played quarterback together.
Yeah.
So then my brother transferred to Ohio University because Ben obviously stepped in and played amazing. But like Miami of Ohio, the MAC, and then maybe like I don't even think Pitt gave me an offer. They were kind of interested. And then what happened was Penn State offered me. They offered me a scholarship going into my senior year.
Linebacker, you.
Yeah, and that was like a really big deal for me. So I was like, yeah, let's do it. Sign me up, you know? And that's because I didn't even think Ohio State was on the radar. But how it works is if you get an offer from one big school, a lot of times some others will come calling. So they offered me, and Ohio State kind of showed interest and said, if you come to our camp and work out for us, whatever, we need to take a look at you. So I came to camp. They called me into Coach Tressel's office afterwards, and they offered me a scholarship with me and my dad.
How old are you now? 18?
17.
You're 17, and you're at Ohio State. And what's the workout? What do they make you do?
Well, it's like a 3 or 4 day camp where they do everything. You're in a camp with like 1,000 kids, but then they kind of have like 20 or so they really want to look at. The 1,000 kids because they're making tons of cash. That's why, believe me, we weren't going for free. We were paying. But they kind of separate you. You have your own little games. You play. You run 40-yard dash. You do all these tests.
Cornhole? Did you guys play cornhole?
I wish. You know about cornhole? Cornhole, Ohio, Midwest, Cincinnati originated.
I dropped it in on you.
Cornhole. How do people not know about cornhole? They call it bags. No,
you think cornhole, they think rear end. Because they think it's your rear end everywhere else in the country.
Well, of course, but it's a beautiful game. Everyone needs to play.
And in both instances, it's a beautiful game.
I played.
Find the right partner. It's a beautiful game regardless.
My college roommate, Nick Mangold. You're a big Jets guy, aren't you?
Huge. Center for the Jets.
Yeah, I grew up with Nick. We're from the same hometown. So my roommate, Nick, and our other buddy from our hometown, literally after every game, we'd sit on the sidelines. There's not the sidelines, the street right out front of our college house, set up our cornhole boards, and we would literally find just these drunk stragglers from the game cruising down the street and be like, all right, come on, buddy. And we try to bet them and play them in cornhole and just mop up. It was
It's
beautiful.
basically you're throwing beanbags into a whole target.
There's a ton of strategy, though. I'm telling you.
How is there a ton of strategy?
If you play me once,
great, you know?
play me once, and if it was my brother and I, we'll beat you 21-0.
I would think the strategy would be, I'm going to throw this beanbag into that hole
It's
over
a lot
there.
easier said than done, Jay.
Well, I know that.
It's like when you have hecklers come up and say, oh, I can tell a joke. No, you can't.
I think it's probably a little different. I think
It's very different.
A more narrow skill set as a stand-up comic than a great cornhole player. A Hall of Fame cornholer versus a Hall of Fame comic.
I'll
take George Carlin over you.
Yeah, me too. There's some. If you run into a guy that's from Cincinnati, he's like, hey Jay, you want to play cornhole? Don't do it.
Oh, shit.
He will embarrass you. I'm just letting you know.
That's you know what.
So people, I know you probably. I mean, you got people from all over listening to this, but the majority will not know cornhole. Just Google it. Put it into YouTube.
I don't think you want to do that.
You're right, my bad. My bad.
I don't think you want that in your history search.
I don't know.
Where do I find
what would you
good
put in your YouTube then?
You put in Google
search that history, buddy.
Where do I find good cornhole?
Don't use on the same laptop your kids use.
Oh, my God. This episode of Mohr Stories is brought to you by the following sponsors. Hold tight. 2 of the most common New Year's resolutions: get your life organized and start a business. You can quickly do both at LegalZoom.com. My friends, getting your life organized starts with a last will and testament or a living trust from LegalZoom. You'll protect your assets, your family, get peace of mind. Starting a business? No problem. LegalZoom.com can help you launch your dreams and save you a ton of time and, more importantly, a ton of money. LegalZoom.com has helped start over 1 million businesses. I want my listeners to be 1,000,001, 1 million. Let's make it 2 million Warriors rally. That's why they earned an A+ by the Better Business Bureau. LegalZoom.com's step-by-step process was created by a team of experts in law and technology. LegalZoom.com is not a law firm, but they can connect you with a third-party attorney and provide you with self-help services. For special savings, enter Mohr, my last name, M-O-H-R, in the referral box at checkout. And please don't let another month go by before you take care of these things for your family and your business. From wills to business formation, trademark applications, powers of attorney, even bankruptcy help. LegalZoom.com. Password Mohr.
When shopping for car insurance, consider this. Geico has been saving people money on car insurance for over 75 years. So if you're serious about savings, it's simple. Go to geico.com. After 75 years, they know how to save you money.
I try to find the right one, but it seems like they all just have one thing on their mind.
Having only one thing on your mind can be a good thing when you find that special someone. At Geico.com, that someone is a car insurance policy, and the only thing on its mind is being your soulmate. Depend on easy online tools for paying bills and managing claims. Picture a life of savings as you gaze into the eyes of a free rate quote. That's our go-to move. Geico. 15 minutes could save you hundreds on car insurance.
So you go to class dreaming of a good cornhole game to break out when it's over with. And you actually did have to go to class. You majored in criminology. You wanted to be a cop. You got recruited by Ohio State. You're an Ohio kid. You're at Ohio State. You're a starting linebacker. You have a national championship. At what point in class do you realize, hey, I'm going to go pro. I don't need a degree at all. What the hell am I doing here? I should be taking a nap in my dorm room.
Well, I would have loved to have been taking a nap, but I knew it wasn't really an option. But I never really thought of that. When I really realized I think that I could possibly play in the NFL was shortly after my junior year, a couple days or so after I turned 21. My birthday was January 6th. I turned 21 right after our season. We had like 10 of us went to Vegas. So I was like literally about to go to Vegas with all my buddies, and someone like called me. I forget if my coaches or someone's like, hey, we need to know if you're coming back for your senior year or not. I was like, what? And they're like, yeah, we got to at least like make a statement. I was like, get it? What are you talking about? And they're trying to tell. I was like, yeah, of course I'm coming back. What do you mean? And then like they wanted me to come in and announce that I was going to come back for my senior year. Like I was going to skip and go to the NFL. I was like, I'm sorry, it didn't cross my mind. No, I wasn't going to leave. I loved it here. Anyway, that's another part that just goes back to I was really, I don't know if you want to call it. Yeah, I'm sure I was naive and kind of living under a rock.
You come across as the world's most naive man.
I mean, I'm not trying to like play that role.
No, I know.
But I'm saying in college, yes. I literally, I was such just a meathead, just lift, football, steak, sport, school. Like that was my life.
Mongo like smash.
No joke. I didn't meet my wife until my senior year in college, and she was out here. She went to UCLA, whatever. Not UCLA. Cal State LA, my bad.
Okay.
Yeah, so she was out here, and she's the person that she basically taught me how to speak English and how to speak to humans. No joke. Like I was straight caveman when I met her.
Preaching to the choir.
Still am a caveman, but I wouldn't be able to think about doing this if this was 7 years ago. Like, talking on a mic to talk to the guy from Jerry Maguire. No chance. I'm not doing that.
How weird is it after a game when all the reporters come in and you're just standing there like butt-ass naked and there's people sticking mics in your faces?
I'm just my eighth year in the league, and I've never understood it. I always say, can we please have like a media room? Because they say they give you like this 10-minute cool-down period. That's like a rule in the NFL after a game. And it doesn't matter. There's no way you can get showered and changed. Get your whole uniform
10 minutes
off.
To get your shoulder pads over your nose.
Yeah, exactly, man. Think about it. And so they always catch you, and they're like, so you'll be literally I put towels over my head, put like 5 towels on. I'm walking to my locker. I'm like, all right, man. Especially in away games, and it's really cramped in the locker room. You'll have your back turned. You're like in your locker trying to find like your underwear to put on, and all of a sudden you can feel like 25 people, especially if you had either a good play or a bad play in that game that did something good or bad to win or lose the game for your team. They're right behind you, like, oh my man, this is so awkward. They're like rubbing up against your cheeks. It's terrible.
And they don't care because they have to get their story.
They want to get their first. Yeah, they don't want someone to steal their question.
There's always that one guy in the back holding up like an old school tape recorder. Yes. You just see that over everybody else's head. I'd rather be that guy and just steal everybody else's. It's the same. It's not even stealing a story. We were all standing around AJ Hawk's locker, and he said, "I want to be a cop." I still want to be a cop.
Yeah.
And so Warren Sapp, I thought, had the best trick. He would sit there butt naked with a big lip of chew in his mouth and put a towel down in front of where he was sitting.
And spit in it?
And just spit on the towel, which was like a foot from his feet. So he would get more aggressive if he didn't like the way it was going. So the reporters had to keep backing up.
That's awesome,
from
man.
the enraged Warren Sapp.
See, Warren Sapp's a lot more intimidating than myself. I mean, I'm like the same size as those reporters, so they're not scared of me, but Warren,
I will say this, AJ Hawk. I was very surprised when you came through the gate and came up my front lawn. You're not like, Kyle Turley's a buddy of mine. Like, you're kind of like you're kind of like Wayne Corbett sized. You're like regular sized big.
I am, yeah, man. And I'm even smaller now than I used to be, so.
What's the secret to you having so many tackles and these ferocious hits and staying healthy if you're not like, because guys, I'm not saying this is a detriment to you. It's just guys in the NFL are just other level enormous and crazy looking. And you're just like, if I saw you at Whole Foods, I would just think like maybe you were a trainer.
Yeah, exactly. Trust me, I get that a lot. I don't know. I always tell people there's no secret to like longevity or staying healthy. I've been lucky enough to be pretty healthy throughout my career.
So we'll knock the table again, gentlemen. Let's go.
Fire hit some table here. But I'm saying there's no secret to anything. The reason you're successful, anybody's successful, is because you're consistent, you work hard, you do the right things. It sounds cliche, but it's super boring, but it's true.
Were you
any avenue.
Were you considered undersized coming out? I guess you weren't.
No,
because you got fifth?
Yeah, fifth. But football's different. Football's so different now, though. You know, you see it. Everything's geared towards the offense. So I always say my inside linebackers coach, his name is Winston Moss, played at University of Miami back when they were killing it. He's like 6'4", 6'5". I'm not gonna say what he weighs now, but he played 10 years in the league.
You better get him in a cornhole rotation, loosen up those arms.
He's a big, scary man. I would not mess with him. But he played in the league inside linebacker, like 6'4". He claims he played like 235, 240. I'd say 255. A monster.
When he was playing.
Huge. Played 10 years. Was a great player. And I was like, that guy's gone. They don't have that guy. Or if he's playing now, he's an outside linebacker. He's in the 3-4 rushing the passer like Clay Matthews does. Like those type of guys. But inside guys to be like that, you can't do that because it's a different world now. They're empty backfields. They're split out. You got to cover guys. It's just a different game. So I don't think those guys, maybe that'll come back eventually if these rules and stuff change and offenses can't do all this.
Some guys, like the SEC linebackers that come out, they're a little oversized.
Yeah,
they seem a little large the last couple of years. Like 290-pound linebackers.
Yeah, there's some big dudes that come out. And
what do you weigh right now?
I'm like 230, a little over there.
That's really light. I came out of college. Running back weighs.
I came out of college at 248 at the combine 8 years ago. So I mean, I think I got some great advice when I was young from multiple guys that played. They say as you get older, get lighter. Don't get guys will naturally just kind of gain like a pound or two. They don't even mean to. It just happens through age. And so I feel better now than I ever have, and I'm as light as I'm like, I came out of high school like 225, just 4 hours in the weight room, clean, squat, snatch, killing everything.
Just drinking Metrex.
Oh gosh.
All day, every day.
Yeah. Just drinking whole milk every night. So I still work out.
I think that's an important sentence for the listeners out there. AJ Hawk's a guy drinking whole milk every night. And he never even finished a Vegas story because he had to come back.
I'm sorry. I bounce around so bad.
No, the point is like how wholesome you are. You're like blonde hair. You look like Opie Cunningham.
Yeah.
Opie Taylor, whatever his name is. And you're like,
good.
Oh man, I was an animal. Just weights, steak, whole milk every night, man. Like most guys would be like, yeah, you know how we do? Just going to the club, my gold pants on, drinking whole milk. Give me a white Russian. Give me a white Russian, hold the vodka. What do you think is your best discernible skill that,
and on the field?
Is it speed? Is it tenacity? Is it vision?
Geez.
Like a lot of people don't realize that aren't football fans. Like when you play linebacker, you know this obviously, but like you got to see, it's like playing chess. You got to think 3-4 moves ahead, and you one step, half a step even, plays over. You're done. You're smoked.
Yeah, I think instincts and vision are a big thing. I think at least for myself, and I think as I get older, I'm getting better at that. Like even this year, I felt like I've seen certain plays that would normally have got me. They run like a bootleg or something. And it might not look like it to the average anyone watching, but me and like my linebacker coach, like, man, you saw that quick. Stuff like that, where I feel like my instincts and vision are getting better as I get older. And if I can just keep my body feeling good, I feel like I can play for a long time, and I really want to.
I don't think the casual fan realizes this either. How much film, how many hours of film would you say you watch a week?
It just depends. But, I mean, it's hard to put a number on it because we literally meet from – people they don't know our schedule. Every day's – we're so structured. Every day is so regimented. Wednesday and Thursday of a game week are our long days basically. And we'll come in. I get there at like 6:15 in the morning. I'll usually go home about 5 o'clock at night. And that's with 4 hours of meetings in the morning, go out practice for 2.5 hours, come back and meet for 2 hours, 3 hours after practice, and workout, practice, everything in between that. And our practices I try to tell people too, I'm not just hitting on, they say, playing a football game is like getting in a car wreck every Sunday. I was like, well, guess what? I'm getting in a wreck on Wednesday and Thursday too, because I'm hitting in practice.
You got to tackle
Thursday now. That's the one thing our union did. We only have 1 day of pads during the week. So on Thursdays, guess what? We're still banging. I'm still blasting my head off people.
Has there ever been a game in your 8 years in the league that where the whole team prepared, you study the offense, you watch the film, and then like somewhere around the second quarter you realize, wow, we were way off. They're not running anything we prepared for. We're getting destroyed.
It always happens. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, we'll go into games. I get in I get in, not arguments with coaches, but I'll start yelling. Guys on the team will laugh at me because in the huddle, I'll start yelling to the sidelines. They'll say, every once in a while this will happen where a coach will say, they all present like their own little saying. Like one coach will present the first and second down runs. This next coach will come and present third down drop back pass. Then this guy's third down play action pass, whatever.
This is during the game.
No. This is how they present during the week in our meetings.
Gotcha.
And they'll say, when they get in this formation, say they get in regular personnel. This is just like football speak for our team. Like regular personnel, and the tight end is in a pocket position. It is 100% run. And they'll say that, and I'll literally like this. I'll just turn around to my buddies. Everyone, I'll be like, all right, yep, don't worry. I wrote that down. Let's remember, guys. Because I like, and then all of a sudden they'll come out in that, and they'll throw the ball. And they do it. I'm like, yeah, really? And I look at the side, like, 100% run. And they don't know what I'm yelling, because they can barely hear me. I just freak out for like 10 seconds, and I come right back to it. So that happens for sure.
So it happens to everybody on every team.
Yeah, but I say all the time, it doesn't matter. It's football. Like when people try to make it really complicated, I'd be like, we have linebackers that come in and young guys, and I try to do whatever I can to help out, help them. But when things get really complicated, like, oh no, what did you see here? And what are you going to do if they do that? And I was like, well, you see that dude back there, that monster, like Steven Jackson. If they hand him the ball, I'm going to try to tackle him. They'd be like, okay. I'm like, that's honestly what we're doing.
Caveman.
Yeah. So and I'm going to make sure I don't run into these. You see these big D linemen in front of us that are helping us? Just don't run right up their ass. Just play off them, whatever they do. Don't mess them up, and they're going to help you, and then you tackle that guy with the ball. But guess what? He's like 250 and runs a 4.340, so you better bring your head.
Hit him low,
and then maybe his knee dings you in the side of the temple and knocks you out. But, yeah, you got all kind of things going on now.
Wayne Corbett, I was once at a Jets practice, and I was watching Brian Cox. Remember Brian Cox, obviously?
Oh, my gosh.
And he had, like, no muscle in his chest whatsoever, and I saw him afterwards just wearing, like, a T-shirt. He was, like, you're obviously in great shape. He just kind of looked like a guy. Like you would see, like the bodega, like buying lot. Like he just looked like a guy.
Brian Cox.
Cox. But he was like one of the he was ferocious. He was very good. I wouldn't say great. I would say very good NFL linebacker when he played.
He's a stud.
Absolutely. And I said to Wayne Corbett, I said, Brian Cox, he was like slow. He's not fast, like at all. Mm-hmm. And Wayne Corbett, I'll never forget, goes, no, but when he gets there, he's angry.
Exactly.
And I was
Guys
like,
are scared of him.
What a weird job that's an actual something to put on your resume. When he arrives, he's angry.
That's pretty good. I like that. I think I'd be proud if someone said that about you. Wouldn't you?
Yeah, but are you angry at the point of contact, or are you just all business? Are you ever just like trying to just destroy people?
Yeah, of course. Not all the time, because every once in a while I have moments where you just black out and you just go crazy and you're an idiot, and then you miss the tackle and stupid things happen. So you got to find a way to like rein that in sometimes, but sometimes it's good, I think it happens more in practice for me than even games. Like at the end of a long practice and training camp, that's when guys get in big fights and the whole team will start brawling, stuff like that.
Who's the guy in the NFL that you just take sublime pleasure in tackling well?
Oh man, that's a great question.
Thanks. We're out of time. This has been Mohr Stories with no. What most guys say on my radio show.
What?
They fucking love tackling Tom Brady because there's a sound he makes. There's probably 11 people we've had on J Mohr Sports. He makes these odd sounds of like he's apoplectic. Like you're not supposed to tackle me. Like
really?
Don't you know the rules?
Yeah, he's like above it. He is
not a crybaby, but just like, what are you doing, man?
Well, you quit it. Yeah, I can see that. See, those guys are lucky. I've only played against Tom once or twice, and I haven't gotten to him. Maybe twice I played him. Gotten near him. But
is there a guy you've just lit up and just to this day you're like, man, that was great. Something about that guy. It was just good to light him up. And if you want to take it out down the line because you think it'll cause bulletin board material, we'll take it.
No. I don't. See, I played 2 years with Brett Favre. I came in and played with Brett, and honestly, the one it has nothing to do with hitting him. I didn't get to hit Brett. I would have loved to, but.
Why?
Well, I love playing against him. It's like hitting
your teammate.
It's like hitting your brother. Well, no, I mean, when he went to the Vikings. He went to the Vikings.
Okay.
I was lucky enough Brett came to Lambeau the year we won the Super Bowl, and I got a pick off of Brett, and he got an interception. I was like, I don't really keep anything. I don't have any of my memorabilia or anything. it's somewhere in my dad's closet. I just ship everything home. I clean out my locker like every 5 months, and I ship everything to my dad. Like, hey, I'm gonna get this later. I send him like old gloves.
All
cleats,
the neighbors think your dad's a hoarder.
Oh yeah, and my mom hates me, and she hates that he's really excited. He's like, oh, I love this stuff. But
I'm confused how you picked off your own teammate.
He was on Minnesota.
Not in the Super Bowl.
No, it was the year we won the Super Bowl in Super Bowl 45, whatever
the
year.
Packers won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm jumping around.
Oh, I was
the king of. I was at NFL Network today, and I got all those topics jumbled in my head. But no, but yeah. So that year he played for the Vikings, threw me a ball, lucky enough to catch it. Our equipment guy got me the ball, and I was like, yeah. I was like, I'm keeping this one, and I got Brett to sign it, so he signed it to me. So I was like, I'm doing it. It's happening. It took like 4 months. I got it. So that's the one thing that I'm gonna have like somewhere in my house.
Tom Segura, a friend of mine, very good comic, said when he played football in high school in Florida, guys would run for like 2 yards, and they would just stand up and go, charge after the game. Like, they wouldn't even do anything of substance. They would just talk shit nonstop. Are there guys in the NFL that you can name that just will do so? Like, Santonio Holmes will get like a first down. The Jets will be down like 49-3 to the Bengals. He catches a first down in the fourth quarter.
Drop the ball and
does that weird ball drop.
I can know Santonio as well. He's in my recruiting class.
I know, but he's a dick. I'm sorry. I don't care if he's one of your buddies or not, but he'll get cut. I'll tell you that much. $10 million a year for Liz. He's making up injuries. Liz Frank injuries.
He's got that. That's a bad. He had.
I heard of Anne Frank. I never heard of Liz Frank. Sounds like a George Wallace routine. Liz Frank. I heard of Anne Frank. I'll be thinking. Who's a guy that does something in the NFL and you're just like, bro, it's a 4-yard run. Dial it back a million.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of specific guys that do that. I mean, one of the guys who's famous for that is Ray Lewis. You know, Ray, every tackle he made he won the Super Bowl basically and got up and watch Ray like. I love the guys who are the greatest. But you weren't
on the field
ever.
at the same time.
No. But I watch guys.
Who's a guy you?
I get to play against.
Up and you're just like,
man, I want to think of some specifics for you. There's always it's always receivers where they'll literally it'll be 1st and 10 and they'll catch a ball for like 6 yards and they'll freak out, go crazy and like shimmy and dance and like you said, drop the ball and we'll literally we'll seriously look at each other like in deep and like, are you serious, bro? What? Really? I'm like, it's like the first quarter. It's like 7 minutes to go in the first quarter and you're shimmying for a 6-yard gain. I was like, I don't know. I disagree.
You don't shimmy?
I don't know. That's the problem. My linebacker coach, he's been telling me since I got there, he's like, you gotta come up with a signature. You need a signature.
Oh no.
And I was
Your signature is that you drink whole milk to put muscle on.
I literally.
You're like something out of the natural. This is amazing.
Yeah,
How many career touchdowns? You must have taken
0 touchdowns.
Really?
No.
That's gotta bother you.
Unbelievable. I mean, it does, but you gotta. Yeah, I just haven't found a way to get in the end zone, man.
You tried to talk yourself out like,
yeah,
that doesn't really bother you. It bothers you, bro.
Yeah, man. I mean, I've got interceptions and sacks and all that, but yeah, I don't know. I didn't even came close. Not even close. Every interception I got, it's like linemen are literally trying to end my career, diving at me. And so I'm like, oh, man, nope. I'll see. I'm going down. I'm not taking you on.
2014, we all got to just rally for AJ Hawk to take one to the house.
Yeah,
and people will destroy Twitter. It'll break if you get a touchdown, bro. What's your Twitter handle? At AJ Hawk?
It's official AJ Hawk. I was late to Twitter, and that's all they got.
If you get the touchdown from a takeback, are you going to have a shimmy ready?
No, that's where I was going. Good job, man. He always says that. My coach always says, man, we need a signature. I need a signature. And trust me, I'm just going to let you in on a little secret, which you guys are smart people. You understand. Most signatures are so the camera zeroes in on that guy. You know that? Like, so say a guy makes a tackle. If you, a lot of times the best is, it's so funny. I love it, actually. I love when my teammates do it. They'll literally like run 15 yards away from us. Like, I'll come up, try to like, hey, what's up, man?
When you go to celebrate with the guy.
Like say like a guy, we make a big tackle for a loss or something together. Me and one other guy, or say a guy gets a sack. And you want to go up and congratulate him, he's going to run 20 yards away from the group, be out of breath so he can do his little sweet shimmy dance, whatever his celebration is, because then you're not getting, his view's not blocked. All the cameras can get him and show it nice, and then he can go home and watch it back. Yep, looks good.
But if you get a touchdown, you got to do the Lambeau leap. That's one of the greatest traditions in football.
It's got to be at home too. Yeah, man. I would jump in the stands. That's all I could do. But I always tell people, I'm like, my coach, he's like, man, you got to come up with something. I was like, are you kidding me? In the
Lambeau leap,
I was like, it's got to be organic. I need something to happen.
If you were able in Green Bay, the Lambeau Field, it's the only place where it's like the coolest thing in the world. Everybody that scores a touchdown, they jump into the actual stands.
Yeah.
And be like, beers falling in their eyes and people are throwing popcorn and they're going crazy and they're happy. It's like the coolest thing in the world. You don't need a shimmy if you have the Lambeau Leap.
Yeah, I would jump it in the crowd. Yeah, of course I would. But like
this is what I would say if I was your agent. If I was like Bob Sugar, like let's say it's 5 years from now, career's winding down. Okay, you take one to the house at Lambeau. You're at home at Green Bay.
Yeah.
You score the touchdown. You keep the ball. You jump into the stands. Stay there.
Just stay there.
Just retire.
That would be beautiful. Just stay there. Maybe
and forever they'll be like
have them flip you over and just walk up the stairs right out to my car.
No, just stay in those seats. What's an usher going to come and say, "Can I see your ticket?" It's like, "No, I'm wearing number 50. I'm AJ Hawk. I just scored that touchdown that put us over the top." And then you'll be known forever as the guy that retired in the stands. Like it's the coolest thing in the world.
I like it. I would do that next year. What do you mean? Why would I wait 5 years? If that happens next year and the game is out of hand, like say, no, I'm not going to retire, but say we win. Say all of a sudden we're winning by, let's say we're up like 14. And there's like that puts us up, and there's only like a minute left. What if I just stayed there?
What if you just tie it up though?
Well, no, if I tied it up, I'd have to come back and play the rest of the game. I'm saying if the game's out of hand,
you can only stay there if it's a game winner. Otherwise, you get the penalty.
Game winner. Derek Brooks did that in the game. I watched when I was younger. Got a pick, returned like 50 yards for a touchdown, and he like kind of pulled his hammy a little bit, and he literally what? What do you mean? He kind of like at his last like 10 yards, he kind of started hobbling with a hammy, and he was awesome because he was at their end zone by their tunnel, and he literally just took that thing in Tampa Bay is when he played for Tampa Bay, picked off, running. He literally just took that thing right into the locker room. Like
that's what Flipper Anderson did at the Meadowlands when he played for the Rams.
Yeah, I think that was the coolest. Yeah, I thought that was the coolest thing ever. My brother and I have two older brothers, and my middle brother played college football. My oldest didn't, but we always like, man, just take it right through the tunnel.
That's Forrest Gump style too.
Yeah, Forrest Gump.
Like how cool would that be?
That would be the coolest thing in the world.
Just to keep it right through the tunnel and don't come back out though.
I didn't see the Derek Brooks one. I remember Flipper Anderson when he was with the Rams. He caught a game winner at the Meadowlands and just took it into the tunnel. And like with 4.4 speed.
Yeah.
When you hit that cement and cleats, you're taking your life in your hands. You just slid in like you did in the electric slide.
I fell down walking out or running out, jogging out to warm-ups one year. I'm telling you. So I played with Charles Woodson. I'll try to make it real short. I was running out Lambeau Field, our tunnel, for our initial warm-ups. It wasn't the warm-ups where they call you out one by one. It was when we were all just running, the Green Bay Packers for warm-ups, whatever. We ran out, and I'm running out. Me and my buddy Brady Papinga, works for Fox Sports 1 out here, actually, and Charles Woodson. I'm running like this through the concrete, and I was like my second year, third year in the league. And there's like a grate that goes from the concrete to the field, like a grate. I'm like, all right. And I was just so stupid. My cleat hit it, and literally I went sideways, completely down, blasted my elbow, everything. I was like, oh no. I'm like trying to get up, and it hurt bad. I'm like, I got up and I was like, oh no, here we go. And I just got up. My one buddy's trying to pick me up. Brady's like, all right, come on, man, we got you. And Charles Woodson, he's the coolest guy in the world, comes strolling by me and goes, ain't nothing hurt but his pride. He just kept on going.
Oh, that's the coolest.
I was like, damn, Charles, that was pretty profound.
Yeah, former defensive player of the year.
Charles is the man. Coolest guy alive.
Who's the greatest middle linebacker ever?
Ooh, see, that's very hard to say.
Not really.
You
just say it and then it happens.
I don't know. Who do you think? I mean,
give me 4.
Oh gosh, that's a lot.
And don't say Ditka or like weird people. Don't go back to like weird old school guys with leather helmets.
I don't know enough old school guys to tell you.
It's got to be modern era. Like
modern era. Okay.
I will say that you got to agree with me. Football is the one. Like baseball, you go, hey, Walter Johnson won 300 games. He was the big train like back in the 1900s. You don't know, but it's still 300 wins. Do you know what I mean? And like Ty Cobb at 400.
Yeah.
They didn't let blacks play, and it was the biggest scandal in the history of sports ever to exclude an entire race of people from playing. So the numbers are a little skewed.
Very skewed.
But the numbers are the numbers. And football isn't really a numbers-driven sport. Mm-hmm. So everything is subjective. So I will say when you're, tackling guys that had like carpentry jobs in the off season, I don't think that really holds up as much as other sports.
Yeah, okay. So inside back, middle backers. I mean, obviously Ray Lewis is up there. I mean, might be the best ever. Ton of respect for him. A guy that I loved, I looked up to, and I played in my rookie year against him, Zach Thomas. Remember Zach Thomas?
Yeah,
I think he's unheralded. I mean,
he was a fun dude. Always a fun interview whenever I talked to him, too.
Oh, did you? Yeah. You've seen Zach Thomas's arms?
Yeah, they're huge. And he played with Larry Izzo, who was an inch shorter than Zach Thomas. It looked like Barney Rubble and Barney Rubble's little brother.
Yeah.
And I asked them, what's the best trash talk you heard? And they were, when Larry Izzo actually got to play linebacker, but he's always a special teams guy. They go, hey, 54, what's that, your height?
Really?
5'4" in his jersey.
That's awesome.
But he didn't remember who said it. Somebody just blasted it out.
See, that's one of those you hear, you're like, touche, man.
Yeah.
Good one. I like it.
Yeah, Zach Thomas was great.
I love Zach
He didn't look like he should be that fast, and he's a great dolphin. One of the great dolphins. Yeah.
Rockhead, he was like my arm idol. I would sit there, me and my brothers, just biceps and shoulders all day long.
I want to be like Zach Thomas. I want to be like Zach Thomas.
I don't have a chance to get my arms as big as Zach. I've been trying. I just turned 30.
Just get that juice going. Why don't you start doing some steroids for yourself?
I mean, everybody else is doing it, aren't they?
I don't know. You tell me.
No, that's the thing. People think like people that don't know football, they're like, oh, 90% of the league's on steroids. I'm like, what are you talking about? There's sometimes I get tested 3 times in a week, like for steroids. Now, HGH, human growth hormone, I think that is rampant because we don't have a test. So I think, like I tell people all the time, if there's not a test, guys are going to do it. They claim we came to an agreement like a year and a half ago that they're going to test for it.
Can I quote you on that?
What?
When I promote this podcast, can I tweet, I think HGH is rampant?
Yeah, I've said it multiple times public. Yeah.
I don't want to air you out.
I don't want to give any percentages because I don't know.
No,
it's all speculation.
It's of course.
Yeah, but of course, I mean,
what about weed? I would think if I was a defensive back, I would play.
Come on.
I would blaze all day, every day.
See, that's another thing that
What a great job high is a corner in the NFL. Just take an interception to the house. You want to talk about shimmying? Holy
Why is it only
smokes.
DBs? Why is it only DBs?
No, I'm sure. The skill positions, as they call it.
Yes, the skill positions.
I wouldn't. Here's why I say DBs, because I wouldn't want to be a lineman high and just have my fist in the dirt and another guy smashing me every play. With a defensive back, there's always a little space, and then you get to react to something.
Yes.
Whereas like a lineman, every play, crash.
Yeah, I mean,
crash.
I don't know if guys are under the influence while playing. Practice maybe. Not, I wouldn't say games, but yeah, that's another thing that they test for, but they don't want to catch people. It's like the NBA. Like,
NBA, they got to be the most
They don't
high.
test. They don't even.
Jon Stewart said, why test at all? It takes a lot of discipline to get up at noon and shoot hoops every third day.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's a different world out here on that view.
So you haven't thought about the HGH and the roid?
No, I've been trying to get my dad on HGH for a long time though. He's been. It's like every day. My dad's like,
me and Maddie.
It's not illegal. You can go to a doctor and get it.
Oh really?
Yeah.
It's more fun if I get it illegally though through a Green Bay Packer.
And you should like film it and have someone inject you.
I'll get it from Jim Tressel.
Oh, he's in good shape. I mean, he might be on it. That might be his secret. He's got big old arms. He used to decline bench in our room on a hammer strength machine, and we'd be like, "You guys see Coach? He's got 3 plates on there. I'm telling you, he's a strong little dude. He's only like 5'6".
Nothing's weird.
Sweater vest with nothing under it though, just guns. Red sweater vest, and he would cut it'd be like a little V-neck, but he would cut it deep.
Yeah.
He'd cut it deep so his pecs would show you more. And just these big old Youngstown arms just decline.
Youngstown arms.
You try to talk to him, he wouldn't even look at you. He'd just grunt.
Nothing weirder than the guy doing decline bench at the gym. It's like, what are you doing?
Well, you're a big incline bench guy. I always hear you talk about that.
I love incline bench.
Look, you got like dumbbells laying around here.
Yeah, a lot of the
stuff's
stuff's
at work.
We're
doing
doing
press right now.
We'll do it later with another guest. So Ray Lewis and Zach Thomas.
See, I mean, I would put Zach up there. Who knows what other people would. Urlacher, I think, is up there too. He's a Hall of Famer for sure. Urlacher, I just got to play golf with him this past summer in Lake Tahoe. Awesome guy. Really good golfer too. A ton of respect for him. I mean, there's so many of them. I don't know.
When you say Ray Lewis, because he's my favorite player ever.
Oh, so you're pretty upset with me saying something about him celebrating after tackles?
No, I don't give a shit at all. He can do whatever he wants. No. I just like the product on the field. When I watch it, and I say it on the radio show all the time, when you're watching sports, you're watching a show.
Yeah.
And when I watch the Ravens, I'm a Jets fan. That's a poor show. That show's going to get canceled unless they get the numbers right quickly.
Yes.
And when you watch the Ravens play, and when it's like Terrell Suggs, T. Sizzle, Ball So Hard University, you're like, I love this show. Yeah. And it seems like when guys go to the Ravens, they play differently. Like when Ricky Williams had that 1 year with the Ravens, all of a sudden he's just lowering his helmet and like crushing fools on 3rd and 4 draws and stuff. It was nuts. But Ray Lewis, I met at a corporate gig for Reebok a long time ago, and he was like super, super Christian, super soft spoken, and he got a jersey and he signed it for my son. And we sat and we like talked about the Bible. and he didn't have to put on a show. It was just him and I in a green room waiting to go do, like, I was going to do stand up and he was going to present like somebody an award.
Yeah.
And I was like, everyone thinks this guy killed somebody.
Yeah.
And he's like calm. And then you see him on the field and it's like, is there a guy, are you the guy? Is there a guy, because you know this about Ray Lewis, he was the glue. He held it. Like when I was on Saturday Night Live, Phil Hartman was the glue. Mm-hmm. You couldn't do anything. Phil Hartman was the guy in every single sketch. He could be the warden. Speaking of Ray Lewis, he could be, you know, the school teacher. Like every sketch, you know, Phil Hartman was the glue. He was the guy. Like, who's the guy? Because when Ray Lewis left the Ravens, all of a sudden you go, wow, maybe he was better than we thought. He wasn't aging because they went downhill quick on that side of the ball.
Yeah.
Who's the guy in the Packers is that guy?
I mean, it's Aaron Rodgers. I mean, he has to. I think if you're just like Tom Brady is.
I like the way he plays linebacker too. Great safety, great corner, great defensive.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have. If you're trying to say as a defensive guy,
no. If it's Aaron Rodgers, it's Aaron
because I mean, the team goes as your quarterback goes usually when he's the franchise guy. Yeah. He just came actually to Columbus and visited this past weekend and stayed with us, and it was so funny because have you seen the commercials where he's dressed in a fat suit?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So we're sitting there watching TV and we were watching and like those stupid commercials come on and he gets so embarrassed and so mad at me.
He should be embarrassed because he's already making quarterback money.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like have a linebacker do that.
But the normal ones where he comes on and he's not dressed in his fat suit, like he's like, okay. And then all of a sudden like that one came on and I'd already seen it before and he's like, oh God. And you're like, I hear like made noise. I was like, "What? This one's awesome, man! Look at you! You look sweet, cool, fat suit. You're such a good actor, man." He's like, "Shut up." He's like, "Change the channel." I was like, "Yeah, I want my wife to change the channel."
Yeah, that'll go over big in the Hawk household. And that's your real last name. That's not a porn name. AJ Hawk is your actual name.
That is my name.
That's cool as hell.
Aaron
you were
James
destined
Hawk.
to be Aaron James.
Aaron James. Yeah, never gone by that. My parents call me AJ from day one. But
that's like you were born to be a Green Bay Packer linebacker. It's amazing.
My son's name is Hendrix Hawk. Hendrix Nighthawk.
Hendrix Nighthawk.
K-N-I.
He's going to sell pot.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Really?
No, I don't know.
Well, maybe by the time he's 18, it's going to be viewed a lot differently than now, right?
No, it's a great name. Hendrix Nighthawk?
Nighthawk. And so I tell him, I make my daughter call him Nighthawk.
And
she's
Lennon,
like, hey, where's
Lennon's
brother? Lennon Noel. She was born December 4th.
You're disappointed.
No, she was born
Lennon
on Christmas,
McCartney.
and we had her first name. We had her name, John Lennon. If you can't tell, we're into like the music theme. So
yeah,
whenever
but how did you miss McCartney as a middle name? That's the whole
we
catalog.
missed
Is Lennon and McCartney.
We can change it.
All right.
Can I change it?
Yeah. Legally? You're damn straight you can.
Yeah.
You own that child.
You can do
That's
whatever I want.
yours.
Your name's probably not even Jay Moore. It's probably a
John
stage name.
Ferguson Moore. I was born, Ferguson is my mom's maiden name, and then when I got married, I took my wife's name as an extra middle name, John Ferguson Cox Moore. She took my name.
It's
and
confusing.
It seemed the right. Not really.
Well, you're a good guy. That's why.
Well, why not?
Why not? Okay. Yeah, you're right. So she was born, it was our first kid. She was born December 4th, and they're like, hey, what's the middle name? We're like, I don't know. Who knows? And then my wife and I are both big fans of Christmas, and we're like, Noel, N-O-E-L.
I like it. You seem to not like it.
Oh, I like it, but I'm saying it's like, and when
compared to Hendrix Nighthawk.
So when my son before my son was born, it's from Step Brothers. You know, Step Brothers. You can call me Dragon. You can call me Nighthawk.
Oh, snap!
That's what it's from. Because
really?
Yeah, because
that's
your favorite
my
movie.
favorite all-time movie.
I think, yeah, and so Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly, my wife's.
Are we allowed to have a good time?
Yeah, my wife's. He's holding the bagel in his hand or whatever. Yeah. My wife's cousin, who I'm great friends with, was hanging out before when my wife was pregnant, and he's like, "What's the middle name?" I was like, "I don't know." We were coming up. I wanted to name him Geronimo because I was a big fan of Native Americans, or Tecumseh, some kind of sweet
Hendrix
Native
Geronimo Hawk.
I wanted that. My wife just felt like it was too long, and so her cousin was like, "You got to do Night."
It's too American.
Really? Yeah. But what her cousin said, you got to do Night. I was like, really? He's like, Nighthawk, man. And that was the Step Brothers. We'd watched it recently. I was like, yes. So I took it to my wife, and she's like, are you serious? I was like, hey, with a K though, not just N-I-G-H-E, K-N-I-G-H-T.
Like Knight Rider.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so,
we're not crazy people. We know how.
We planned it. He said, hey, my name's Hendrix. He said, but you can call me Nighthawk.
I love
That's what he's going to do.
Do you want more kids?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You're a great dad. Every time I talk to you on the phone, either I got my kid or you have your kids, and we're just juggling life.
Well, you text me, the best is you text me, don't ring the doorbell. I was like, you read my mind, man. You know how mad I get? So my kids are on a strict nap schedule and strict 7 p.m. bedtime. That's what they do. That's how they function best. And myself.
Me too.
And my wife, And these idiots from UPS and FedEx just ring my doorbell, man. Like they literally I put a sign up, do not ring the doorbell. Just set the thing down. Don't even knock. Like, if you just give me a tiny little baby knock on the door if you want. And these guys just ring the doorbell. And we got a new house to where it's like the doorbell's tied into the speakers in the house, right into the room. Boom, kids are up. Nope, no nap today for you guys. And so I just freak out when that happens.
How weird is it to be like one of the, no, don't be this, but very funny story and all true. All packages to me, anybody listening, no signature required, just leave it.
Exactly. Another thing is terrible.
No one's taking
anything
off my
packages I've missed because you needed to sign it and they take them away because I wasn't there twice.
Bro, I can show you 4 UPS slips in a drawer in my kitchen that I don't know. People probably sent me Tiffany China. Who knows? Yeah. But it ain't getting picked up.
Don't ever leave it. I always say leave it on my door. I don't care.
Not
They're
a lot
not
of crime
taking
in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
No,
it's very low key, right?
Very low key. Yeah.
So you can just leave it there. Like that's for if you live in the Bronx or someplace like you can't leave it like in the stairwell of the housing complex. But fancy men like you and I with the well-to-do mortgages and children with goofy names, I'm putting myself in the same boat. Yeah. My son's name is actually Dragon.
Ooh, and beautiful. I like it.
Dragon.
Stole it. That was going to be my third.
Dragon, Tecumseh.
Geronimo.
Custer, Cox. No, we switched it. More Cox.
Ooh. Yes.
Just in case he wants to win the point at a later date. How weird is it? We'll round third here with this one because this always fascinates me. You're like the most famous guy in Green Bay, Wisconsin, one of the smallest towns, and of course in Ohio, because you're AJ Hawk and football fans know who you are. It's got to be weird to be just gobbled up by the public where you play football. But if you get on a train and go to Philadelphia and go to the mall, no one has any idea who you are.
No chance, yeah. Especially with short hair. It's awesome. I think a lot of guys really do thrive on that.
Well, Aaron Rodgers does not thrive on it. However, everywhere he goes, everyone knows him as the discount double check guy.
Yeah, and
But doesn't a part of you want that? Isn't that part of it?
He's on a different level where, I mean, he's on that, he's on a different stratosphere. Like those guys like A-Rod, Tom Brady, Peyton, I don't even think us minions in the league can't wrap our head around what they have to deal with. So it's got to be really, really tough. So I'm happy to not have that. I know it sounds like, whatever. I mean, I try to look at it like when I was a kid, I played in the NFL. How the hell did that happen, first of all? And I'm still there. I've been 8 years in. I never thought I'd get this far. So whatever. I try to enjoy what's happening right now and not, want that. I know I've heard someone say, one of the, not low level, old school rappers that wasn't, really famous anymore. He's like, man, I don't want Jay-Z's life. He's got so much to deal with, man. That's terrible. Look at him. He can't even go outside. And they're like, yeah, right. He's got $1 billion. What do you mean? You want to be that guy? Yeah, I'd love to have Aaron's contract, but I'm not a quarterback. I don't,
Well, that brings me to my next question. How weird is it that everybody knows how much money you make?
Yeah, I think that part is I don't like that.
And why did the players union never let that go through? Why isn't that private?
Players union. We're the only sports league without guaranteed contracts. Our contracts aren't real contracts.
It is absurd.
So, but yeah, I agree. It just makes players big targets because everybody knows they even know when you get paid, when you get off-season bonuses, all this stuff, because that's how they cut guys and do everything because they offer bonuses.
You must love when fans yell, "We pay your salaries."
No, in Green Bay they say we own you because our team's owned by the shareholders and we own you. Okay. All right.
But they probably don't say it often because you guys win a lot.
No, people in Green Bay are a different breed, man. They're literally, I'm not being a homer. They're the nicest people I've ever been around in my life. The whole state of Wisconsin.
I'm looking at WalterFootball.com, 2014 NFL mock draft. Okay.
Ooh.
Green Bay Packers picking 21st. Rashid Hageman, defensive end from Minnesota.
Okay.
And it says Packers spent last year's first-round pick on defensive lineman. That doesn't mean Ted Thompson won't double dip there. Pick change. Previously, C.J. Mosley, inside linebacker. A.J. Hawk not getting any younger.
Oh, I'm not.
When you read stuff like that, or do you ever read stuff like that?
No,
Ever?
I don't read stuff, especially a mock draft. But no, I think I get asked
What if the Packers draft C.J. Mosley?
I honestly I'll be fine. I don't feel threatened. I've played it long enough where there's been guys drafted in my position.
What if C.J. Mosley's a champion cornhole player?
Then I'll be his partner. Then we'll be great. I'll mop up on the cornhole field and the football field. What do you mean? He'll be my partner.
Who gets drafted?
No, you can't. If you get caught up in that, man, do you have any idea how? I'm sure you'd go crazy. You drive yourself nuts if you worried about I've played with a lot of teammates that have like had like Google alerts on themselves. I'm like, especially now.
No.
I was like, and so I don't read. I literally read nothing. Like I'll get something. I've said it before. My dad told me when I was like a little kid, hey, don't ever get too high or too low, whether someone says something good or bad about you, like in the press or whatever. And I'm all right, whatever. And now I understand what he's saying. But I've been a guy who I've never read anything on myself, just because I don't feel the need, good or bad. And every once in a while, someone would be like,
especially on Twitter, people can get you directly.
God, I mean, of course, yeah. But I'm saying like. Say like a writer, you know how many, there's like blogs, everyone's a writer now and can do anything, but even if someone will send me something like, hey man, send me like a link, look at this dude wrote a great story about you, he finally came around, he's hated you for 7 years or something. Like, first of all, I didn't know he hated me.
Yeah,
second of all, I'm not clicking on the link because it's not like, I just don't want to get into that world. It's just not worth it. Not worth my time.
You have a Super Bowl ring, your 8th year in the league. That's the thing, you play for the ring. That's, if anybody like Dan Marino that says like, no, it doesn't bother me, they're lying, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it bothers
I'm not saying
him.
you're calling Dan Marino a liar.
No,
I'm just saying if you retire and you never won a Super Bowl ring and you're like, hey man, it doesn't matter, it fucking matters.
Yeah, I mean, you want it, and it matters now, even like watching those games on Sunday. Like that still hurts watching that, knowing I'm not playing right now. Like my wife even said, she's like, man, I just sometimes just makes me mad watching these teams celebrate. And she's like, I should be you guys. I'm like, yeah, I know, man. We can't. Someone's got to win.
Aaron got hurt.
Yeah, and
way to go, Aaron.
But I think winning it honestly made it worse for me because that year was so magical and everything happened. We won. I was like, we've been there, and people have asked me, especially the media, will say, "Is you guys' motivation level not there anymore because you won a ring?" I was like, no, I think it's higher because we know what it's like to be there and to win. You're like, this was awesome, man. Yeah, let's do it again. And so now every year that it doesn't happen, it's that much more disappointing.
I know you're going to say no, but I'm going to put you on the spot.
Yeah, okay.
8 years in the league, I would assume you have at least 4 years left of your level of football.
That'd be nice.
What you are accustomed to. Does a guy like you, AJ Hawk, do you start going, wow, if I keep up this rate of tackles per year, I will be on a Hall of Fame ballot and I'll get a lot of votes?
No, because I know that's not very realistic to think.
Why? What are you talking about? Why is that not realistic?
No one goes to the Hall of Fame for numbers of tackles made.
They go to Hall of Fame for being great linebackers.
Well, yeah, I know what you're saying, but no, I believe.
Are you as good as Harry Carson?
No.
No?
No.
I mean, you have time
I haven't
left
watched
to go.
game film on him, but yeah, you got a bunch of tackles.
Let me show you. I pulled up Harry Carson's game film right here. I want you to watch. This will be riveting.
But
so
no,
you're telling me guys don't go to
guys do.
Guys don't go to the Hall of Fame because of numbers, you said.
Not because of numbers of tackles. Sacks, yeah. Interceptions, yeah. Not tackles.
There's a lot of guys in the Hall of Fame because of
tackles. Tackles are really weird
tackles.
too, with how the league counts tackles a certain way and the team counts tackles a certain way. So the league never gives you nearly as much as you really get.
How many times you been an All-Pro?
None.
Oh yeah, you ain't going to the Hall of Fame.
Exactly.
Hashtag official AJ Hawk. Hashtag HOF. Or you know what might be more fun? Hashtag cornhole. Official AJ Hawk. Hashtag cornhole.
This isn't live, is it?
No.
Or is it?
No.
You put it up soon?
This won't be out till midway through next season, AJ. I'm going to put this out
I'm just wondering when I see
your
the
Hall of Fame
hashtag
induction
cornhole
speech.
situation.
Do you think you're a better middle linebacker than Zach Thomas?
No.
I do.
No way.
I swear to God I do. Dan Byer.
Okay.
You can have Zach Thomas or AJ Hawk. No joke. Who do you take?
Zach Thomas is pretty good.
Oh, no.
I'll tell you what, AJ doesn't get enough credit for what he's done really the last 4 years. When you came in as a top
Dan Byer is the
pick,
update anchor on J Mohr Sports, and he got Maddie's mic now, and he's going loose here.
There was so much expectations for him in that spot. And I know that there was some flack early on. Clay comes in. Everybody loves Clay, the hair, the sack man. This guy's played really good football the last 4 or 5 years. And I know that the people in Green Bay and Packers.
But that doesn't make him. He's played 8 years. That doesn't make him feel good.
No, but when
that's like you've been a good comic 15 years, JJ.
No, but what I'm saying is this: he comes into the league as a top 5 pick where there's pressure. Okay, so now he's got to live up to this standard. So people say, well, he didn't play up to a top 5 pick, and all of a sudden Clay Matthews comes in as a late first rounder and gets sacks, as he was just talking about. But I mean, he's healthy. Okay. I mean, he's been very solid in the middle.
Are you drunk?
No, I'm just saying.
I've never heard you talk like this before. Like super slow and like plodding to this odd.
To wake up your kids.
This is a bizarre cul-de-sac you drove into.
Plus, I know AJ from college. I mean,
and plus, Clay Matthews doesn't stay healthy. AJ stays healthy.
Yeah. And
how have you not made a Pro Bowl?
I mean, I did the year we won the Super Bowl. I was like, I got named as an alternate or whatever.
Does that count?
Yeah, I mean it count. Oh yeah, I got paid for it.
Really? What was your bonus for that?
I don't know exactly. I don't want to give you. We were locked out afterwards because I would have played in it, but we were in the Super Bowl.
So you'd rather have Zach Thomas than AJ Hawk, Dan Byer?
Yes.
Yes or no? Yes or no?
Good.
Yes or no?
Yeah. Sorry.
Zach Thomas. And Zach Thomas could buy
good.
He could buy a ticket to the Hall of Fame.
He was really good.
He's not a Hall of Fame player. Is he?
I think Zach is definitely up for consideration. Yeah.
Is he on the bubble? Because if you're on the bubble, you're probably not in though.
Yeah.
The man, AJ. First of all, I realized if every Ohio State alum and Packer fan listened to this podcast with you on it, this will be the most listened to episode ever in the history of the internet.
You're right. If you look at the Ohio, 50,000 undergraduate at Ohio State, at least when I was there, it might be more. So everywhere I go, I seem to run into some alumni. And I'm actually a graduate of Ohio State.
What was your major?
Criminology.
Did you really have to go to class? Or
I had to go to class every day because my good buddy, Andy Katzenmoyer, if you remember him.
Yeah, he was a bust.
Monster in the middle. He broke his neck.
Hold on. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Jesus.
He had his neck fused.
Jesus.
Not everybody knows
Andy
that.
Katzenmoyer, I'm so sorry. I didn't know you broke your neck. I thought he was a washout like your boy Vernon Golston.
Oh, jeez. He broke his neck after like his second year, had it fused, tried to come back and just couldn't do it.
Poor Andy. I'm sorry.
No,
Andy.
he's good.
I
But
feel terrible.
I tell people, Andy, if people remember, like the Sports Illustrated cover of him before his senior year, it said like Ohio State's #1 with an asterisk if Andy makes the grades, and he had to go take a bunch of summer classes to try to become eligible, and he ended up becoming eligible. But I tell people he's the reason they check every one of our classes now at Ohio State.
Why?
They did.
He's like a slacker? He didn't want to go to class?
I guess he was trying to take a few classes off here and there.
Isn't that what USC is for?
I don't know, man. I don't know about these West Coast schools, but yeah. So after Andy, no joke, every class I walk into, the very back would be, we had like 4 guys that Coach Tressel had assigned to check everybody's class. And he would sit there and make sure he didn't leave early, too.
Now, usually whenever there's a sports person on the podcast, I always do a disclaimer at the front like, hey, if you're a gal or if you're a guy that's not into sports, don't tap out because it's a feel-good story. It's a story about the human triumph. And then I always get tweets saying like, that was great. Why'd you give the disclaimer? So I'm not going to give a disclaimer for you, AJ Hawk, number 50 of the Green Bay Packers.
Thank you.
You people probably know you from like fathead commercials having really long flowing hair, but now you're like high and tight. You look like you're in Saving Private Ryan, and that's part of what, Locks for Love? Or
we actually did. Yeah, I cut my hair off almost 2 years ago. Started my own little charity deal with it called Hawks Locks for Kids. I'm not didn't come on here to plug anything.
I want you to plug it because I think it's cool because you had that long flowing blonde hair, man. You were like an Amazon dude.
For almost 8 years, I had it long. Almost 9 years, 8.5, 9 years. Grew it out. I loved Pat Tillman. A lot of people know his story. Left the NFL, went over, was killed in Afghanistan. Love that guy. So my linebacker buddies and I kind of grew it out for kind of in honor of him, senior year, and then just chopped it off about 1.5 years ago. And my wife is the one, I can't claim it. She gave me the idea. She said, you got to do something with it. Don't just cut it. So we started our whole thing. People have been awesome, sending hair in from India all over the place to make wigs for kids with cancer.
I've still got mine. I've still got my hair when I had long hair. I'd be happy to donate it.
Send it in. Let me know.
You really have your hair?
I still have it.
It's one of the creepiest things I've ever heard.
I was going to donate to Locks of Love, but I never got around to it, so it's perfect.
Where do you keep freshly shorn, well, not in your case, not so freshly shorn hair?
Freeze it in the meat drawer in my fridge, actually. Keep it fresh.
I thought that's where mob guys keep their cash. Hey. That's where somebody breaks into your house, they go for your cash, they pull out a brown ponytail. That's the creepiest thing in the world.
Gross.
So is it still up and running, your charity?
Yeah, we've had 2 of our main events we have back in Columbus, Ohio, where I live in the off season, and it's been awesome, man. Raised a ton of money we teamed up with a local hospital in Columbus to make wigs for kids with cancer, also burn victims, all kind of issues, but people, man, we put it out there. I was like, oh, this will be cool. People might care, hopefully they care a little bit. And it's just like, bam, instantly stuff came in from all over the place. People would always ask me, I'll run into somebody on the street, literally in Green Bay, and they'll be like, give me $100 bill. I'm like, here, I didn't know where to send it. So here, this is for you. Take it. I was like, oh no, man. I'm like, write this email address down, send it into them, because I don't want to be responsible, man. If I mess up and put that in my back pocket, you think about that karma, man. If I end up spending that on something stupid. So.
Is there a website for this?
It's called Hawks Locks for Kids.
Hawk, Hawk, Hawks Locks for Kids.org. You call that
bookmarks.
Bookmarks. God, browser. We go through this every week, and I apologize.
It is a toolbar on the top, which includes your bookmarks.
People correct me all the time, but it's all podcasts have Amazon links now, but mine actually go to a kid's education, and maybe he could be like AJ Hawk and go to the Ohio State University.
That would be beautiful.
That would be. I would dig it.
I ask my daughter all the time. She can speak somewhat as a 3-year-old, and I say, her name is Lennon. I'll say, Lennon, where are you going to college? She said, Ohio State. And I'm like, yes. And so
put me on the phone with her. I'll change that up. I'll tell her to go to Michigan. Michigan State. I'd remember a kid go to Michigan State to Michigan, I think.
Well, I played for Mark D'Antonio, the head coach of Michigan State. He is the man. You talk about a respected, tough dude that you're scared of. That guy.
I want to ask you about different coaches, and especially about Ohio State, because you were with Jim Tressel when everybody was getting tattoos, and the whole program got shut down.
Shortly after me, but yes.
But it's a weird thing to me because I have a very strong opinion pro Ohio State in this case, and I think the listeners will dig it. Go to jmohr.com, click the Amazon banner, buy whatever the hell you want, and I will read what you bought on the air, making you a star. To, I don't know, you and your buddies that listen to the show. John Polchinski, Plasinski, Plockinski, Plasinski. He writes, hey, man, this is John from Racine, Wisconsin. Look at that, we got a Wisconsin guy already, right for AJ Hawk. I clicked on your Amazon banner yesterday on your website, bought my 3-year-old daughter, Zoe, a Wear Deluxe pop-up pet pen for $66 before shipping and tax for our soon-to-be 8-week-old Weimaraner puppy. Zoe doesn't know she's getting her new best friend yet. We're bringing her home very soon to surprise her. I thought you might like to hear this since you're a fellow dog lover and love your kids like no other. I think I speak for all of your fans when I say we admire your comedy, your honesty, and most importantly, your family values. Take care, my man. Hey, John in Racine, Wisconsin. That was cool as hell, brother. Thanks a lot. So there you have it. You could buy anything you want. That guy bought a pop-up pet pen.
And now,
that's alliteration.
Now your kids are going to go to college because of it. Right?
Hopefully, yeah. I don't know. This episode of Mohr Stories with the great and powerful and mighty AJ Hawk, Green Bay Packer linebacker, number 50. Number 1 in your hearts, brought to you by Go to Meeting. Meetings are essential to the way we work. They're an opportunity to share ideas, problem solve. But if your team is spread out, different states, different towns, different parts of the building, coming together can be a real impossible task unless you use Go to Meeting with HD Faces by Citrix, the powerfully simple way to meet online. It's so easy. Sign up for Go to Meeting from your computer or your mobile device. Launch your first meeting in seconds. Then no matter where you are, you're going to be able to instantly connect to your team. Share your screen to collaborate on projects in real time. You want to show your boss something cool you were working on? Don't explain it to him over the phone. Go to Meeting, HD Faces by Citrix. You can show him in real time like a boss. It's just like meeting in person, even when you guys are miles apart. Start your free 30-day trial of Go to Meeting today. Visit gotomeeting.com. Gotomeeting.com. Click the Try It Free button. You like that? It's free. And use the promo code J, my name, J-A-Y. Gotomeeting.com. Click the Try It Free button and use the promo code J. That's gotomeeting.com. Promo code J. Meeting is believing.
Put your name on it. Just put your name on it. That's all I say. Be a man or a woman. Put your name on it.
Well, I'd like to hear about it, potheads.
How the fuck you gonna know how to be great if you don't study greatness? Look at the game tape.
Donuts.
If you want a battle, it's either that you will or you won't.
You know, you're not a bad-looking man, Mr. Gals.
But you are, Blanche. You are in that chair.
There's something wrong with us. Something very, very wrong with us.
Hey, man.
Yes, more stories. I think it's 2:15. AJ Hawk, Green Bay Packers linebacker, in the house. But maybe to a lot of you, more importantly, Ohio State alum. You know, I have kids. You have kids. We're both dads. It's hard to get a kid. I'm not. It sounds like I'm making a joke, but I'm not. But like, you try to keep a 3-year-old to wear a hat. They hate
no
it.
chance. I have a 3-year-old.
Yeah, so I can't imagine how hard. I guess it sounds fun. I'm not trying to make a joke, but it seems like it'd be hard to convince a 3-year-old to rock a wig. Like, what if it's one he doesn't like? What if it's like all that's left is the mullet, Bono's mullet from Red Rocks? Come on, Timmy.
You got to show him. You got to show him the DVD and say, "Hey, this is cool now."
Raise the white flag.
I don't know how I can. I try to sell a lot of things to my little 3-year-old daughter.
DVD of Red Rocks.
I try to tell I try to sell things to my daughter all the time and make her think it's cool. You know, like, oh, look at this, broccoli's amazing, and I try to eat her something, but I don't think I can sell her that. Maybe like a baby little hockey mullet, like those guys. If they made one of those with a little curl in the back.
What about, instead of baby wigs, what about baby playoff hockey beards?
No,
just a
we
whole
could
bunch
branch
of
off
kids.
into many different things.
Yeah, you know what? Show me a photo of a sick kid with like a Hawks Locks for Love.org playoff beard. Come Stanley Cup time. That'd be the coolest kid in the hospital.
You're right. Man, this is. I had no idea we were even talking about my whole charity deal. Now we're branching off into avenues I never even thought about. This
Welcome to Mohr Stories, AJ Hawk.
I might be looking you up in June to MC my event too, man. I'm always looking for different people.
I'm in right away.
I'm serious.
I'm telling you, look at me. I'm serious.
This is on record. Don't worry, we'll fly you out first class. Whoever you want to come, we'll use our whole budget to bring you in, just so you can MC it.
Pay me in wig hair.
Hey, whatever you want.
I'll bring.
Man.
You know what?
Columbus,
I'll
Ohio.
bring Maddie's hair out of his meat drawer in his refrigerator.
There you go.
And I'll auction it off to the Warriors out there that listen to J Mohr Sports. AJ Hawk, we do a thing here. If people go to jmohr.com and click the Amazon banner, they buy whatever they want, and this money, I get like a little piece from Amazon, goes right to my kids' college tuition. You know damn well when you have kids, like your retirement and your savings, it doesn't exist anymore.
No.
It's all for their college, and you're like, oh no, you're going to college. So I have 2 boys, and if you buy something at Amazon, click through jmohr.com. Instead of having Amazon up on your what these are called up here, toolbar. What do you